What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Big Ditch Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York. And this is their Oktoberfest, and this is a part of their Beer That Tastes Like Beer series, and this is the 2022 release. So this is a Märzen-style Oktoberfest that comes in at 6% alcohol by volume, 21 IBUs at the time of review, and this can is just over 2 weeks old. So another beer within this series, and I've been loving the Beer That Tastes Like Beer series this year from Big Ditch. A lot of good beers. And they released this one, I think, for the first time last year, and I didn't get a chance to try it, so they re-released it again this year, and I'm all about it. So let's run down what this whole series is about. It says, we love beer because of the diversity of styles that can be produced from the 4 basic ingredients of malt, hops, yeast, and water. But in a world where it seems like craft beer is increasingly tasting similar, not that we have anything against juicy IPAs and fruited sours, we wanted to shine a light on the, quote, beer that tastes like beer to keep us from forgetting why we fell in love with craft beer in the first place. And that's why I like this style. It says this German-style multi-lager features notes of, well, you know what? I'll read the notes, see if it influences me. It says toasted bread, fig, and a light touch of honey on the finish with a fairly light and refreshing body for the style. So we'll see. Anyway, let's crack this one open and get in the glass. I'm doing a lot of Oktoberfest this year, 10. I might even do more after the actual official German or the Oktoberfest official, if I can speak, the official Oktoberfest celebration in Munich, Germany. I'm doing 10 over the 2-week period, and of course, spilled some because, again, as you guys know, I'm just having trouble lately spilling fucking beer everywhere. Like, it's my fault, has to be. Now, I was going to mention this, and it's happening again. So I maybe this is the glass, but I don't think so because I drink other beers out of this glass. And I will say this. These Beer That Tastes Like Beer series, in this glass specifically, the head just does not keep. And again, I wash all my glasses the same. Every single one of them get washed the same. Have no issues with any other glass, but again, I think it's just this series. Like, I don't know, it's weird. So anyway, pours out. Yeah, this is definitely Märzen. This pours out this really like deep amber color. It's there's clarity there because it is obviously a lager, but it's a bit darker than I actually anticipated. Had about a finger of an off-white looking head, soap sudsy to some degree, but now it's just gone. So whatever. It hasn't affected the taste or the enjoyment factor of these beers, but it's kind of weird. And it's not aesthetically pleasing. Anyway, nose. Yeah, so definite bready. It's biscuity. They talk about the honey. This is, to me, the malt character, and this is very akin to the Sam Adams Fest beer I had, which was like a honey biscuit. Kind of getting that, no, but maybe more like a toasted bread with like a honey drizzle on it. That fig, now see, that's why a lot of times I won't read tasting notes until the end because you don't want to be influenced, but there is a slight fruitiness here, like a fig, maybe a date, something like that, very slight. Maybe even like a red apple. I like to say red apple core, but like a red apple, very slight. It does have a very floral kind of hop character, but this definitely is a big malty beast. This is the third Oktoberfest beer that you'll see as far as the reviews go so far, and this is definitely the most malt forward. Now, the first two, one was at a fest beer, the Sam Adams, and then the Oktoberfest from Firestone Walker was a oak-aged Märzen. So, Kent, I don't think you can fairly compare. This is like the first true Märzen I'm reviewing this year. Yeah, I mean, it smells pretty good. It smells like what it kind of needs to smell like. Anyway, let's get into it. Prost, everybody. This is really nice. Definitely malt driven. Man, that's cool. It's a different kind of Märzen that I can't. I mean, there's almost like a nuttiness. Body, nice one, like medium body, nice. Mouthfeel, crisp. It's clean. Has a nice refreshing feel to it. Spritzy on the palate, but not overly so. So body, mouthfeel are nice. The taste, yeah, this is a big malty beer. It definitely leans sweeter and leans maltier. It has toasted bread, toasted biscuit, honey drizzled. There's even a little bit of like a caramel toffee thing going on to some degree. It's all at the forefront. Passes through a little bit of that floral kind of slight herbaceousness. But in the finish, that caramel kind of hit. And it's not huge, but it's different. It was like a caramel finish. That fig, not really getting the taste. No real fruitiness to speak of in the taste. Again, finish is a little bit sweeter. This is like moderately dry, very mild bitterness. So if you want a little bit more of a malt forward, kind of maltier sensation on the palate and just a sweeter Märzen, I think you go with this one. I'm really digging it. I think I could drink a couple cans of this. I will say, while it's fun to drink and it's pretty tasty in general, I think I want a little bit more bitterness or dryness to kind of balance it out. I do think this leans a little bit sweet. That said, it's not overly sweet. It's just, leans a little bit sweet. And that for a sessionable beer, like if you're drinking a 12% pastry stout, you're like, oh, it leans a little bit sweet. That's fine, because by the time you're done with that can or bottle, you're probably done with that. It's not like you're going to session on the pastry stout, right? With a beer like this, where you probably buy a 4-pack of it, you probably want to drink that 4-pack in one evening or over the course of a couple of days. So you want to be able to drink 2 or 3 cans of it. I don't know if I'd be able to drink more than probably 2 cans of this right now. And for something that's supposed to be super sessionable, I don't know how that would work for somebody who, wants to sip on it over the course of a couple hours. For me drinking an individual beer, it's really nice. I don't think this is my favorite within their beer that tastes like beer series. I don't even think it's all that great, but I do enjoy it, and I think it's pretty well made, albeit maybe slightly unbalanced for what I'm looking for. But I think it's a solid beer, and I think if you're in the Western New York area here, yeah, go pick it up, especially if you're wanting to try a new Oktoberfest and you want to support local. That's the way I look at it. So Oktoberfest, from the Beer That Tastes Like Beer series, the 2022 release, I have no problems giving this. Go high 3.75 and go 3.85. Almost gets into low 4, but it's just one of those things where it's I think it's a well-made Märzen. Again, I've always mentioned this, Oktoberfest beers, whether it's a Märzen or a Fest beer, not my favorite styles. I just think this is a little bit unbalanced for what I would be looking for a sessionable Oktoberfest beer. The 6%, I do get a little bit of a warming in the chestnuts, very slight, minute, but like as I just took that sip, it's got a little bit warming. That might be welcome drinking it in the fall time, but kind of weird. 6%, noticing a little bit of alcohol, but it's nothing that's like off-putting. It's just kind of different. Anyway, price and availability. Here's another reason why if I worked price point into what I rate, that might be problematic. 4-pack of this is $13. Listen, there are so many different Oktoberfest beers that get released every year, and they're usually, if they sell in 6-packs of cans or bottles, it's usually $10 to $12. If they sell them in 4-packs, usually $10 to $12. I would like to see this $12 at the most, and preferably in the $10 to $11 range. That would be my preference, and I say this in every single review for this series. I would like to be $1 or $2 cheaper. I would. Maybe it's not possible, but that's what I'd like to see. Anyway, availability, Big Ditch. They now get distro more in downstate New York, and they're ramping up production. And at some point, probably later this year or next year, you're probably going to see them in some neighboring states, maybe Ohio, PA, maybe even into the New England area. They are definitely going to ramp up production and get some stuff out. And they, for me, they're one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent brewery in West New York, along with, I think, maybe even West New York, but in Buffalo, along with Thin Man. I think both of them do really good things. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Another West New York Wednesday. I don't know if there's going to be one next week. I might be posting a whodunit/mystery beer instead. We'll see. I will say, though, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Did you have this one last year and then this year? Was there any difference between the two releases? I didn't get a chance to try it last year, so I can't really compare, but I will say it's pretty damn solid. So anyway, to the next one, Prost.